Chapter 997. Xiao Zhan glanced at the two sisters and smiled. Ah Hui, Ah Lei, is my poison cured? Who helped me? He knew very well that the seven-colored viper's poison was difficult to cure. He thought that he would never wake up, so he was rather surprised. It's Brother Lu. Brother Lu helped you. Ah Hui looked at Lu Ming and said. Xiao Zhan also looked at Lu Ming. When he saw how young Lu Ming was, he was slightly stunned. Is he a powerful alchemist at such a young age? Junior Lu Shaoqing greets Senior Xiao. Lu Ming cupped his fists and said. Young hero, you don't have to be so polite. You saved my life, so I should salute you. Xiao Zhan struggled and wanted to salute Lu Ming, but he was too weak to even lift his hand. Senior, you don't have to be so polite. I'm friends with Ah Hui and Ah Lei. It's my duty to save them. Senior, you're weak now. You should rest well. Lu Ming said hurriedly. At that moment, Xiao Hongyun's expression changed. Then, he suddenly smiled in surprise and stepped forward. Father, you're awake. That's great. I've been worried about you day and night. I couldn't sleep at night. Millimeter. Xiao Zhan glanced at Xiao Hongyun and nodded. Xiao Hongyun's eyes flashed with gloominess, but he still had a smile on his face. Father, you've just cured the poison in your body and you're weak. Rest well. We won't disturb you any longer. I'll order someone to send you some pills to nourish your energy. Then, he looked at Ah Hui and Ah Lei and said, Ah Hui, Ah Lei, let's go out. Don't disturb Grandpa's rest. Grandpa, rest well. We'll take our leave first. Ah Hui said reluctantly. Go ahead, young hero Lu. I'll thank you in person after I've recovered a little. Xiao Zhan said. Senior, you're too polite. Lu Ming cupped his fists. Then, everyone left the room. Lu Shaoqing, right? I have something to tell you. As soon as they left the room, Xiao Hongyun's face turned cold. Oh. Lu Ming nodded. Everyone left the main residence and went to a courtyard outside. Lu Shaoqing, since my father's poison has been cured and your injuries have healed, there's no need for you to continue staying in the Xiao family. Please leave. Xiao Hongyun's first sentence was a direct order for them to leave. Ah Hui and Ah Lei's eyes widened in disbelief. Second uncle, what do you mean by this? Big brother Lu just helped Grandpa detoxify the poison and you want to chase him away. He is now our Xiao clan's benefactor. Is this how you treat the Xiao clan's benefactor? Ah Hui said in disbelief. What do you know at such a young age? Do you really think that he is sincere in helping father cure the poison? He must have a motive for doing so. Xiao Hongyun scolded, then looked at Lu Ming and said, Lu Shaoqing, your motive is these two girls, right? They are indeed outstanding beauties. You deliberately approached them and detoxified my father. Your motive is nothing more than to gain their favor and kill two birds with one stone. These two girls are inexperienced. You may be able to hide it from them, but how can you hide it from me? Let me tell you, these two girls are already Ling Yunkong's people. You'd better give up. Otherwise, you won't even know how you died. So, leave the Xiao family now. Xiao Hongyun looked coldly at Lu Ming, and his tone gradually became heavier. Lu Ming laughed. This was too ridiculous. He came to the Xiao family because Ah Hui and Ah Hui invited him. He was looking for a place to heal and detoxify Xiao Zhan. He had originally planned to leave after detoxifying Xiao Zhan. But in Xiao Hongyun's eyes, he had become a person with ulterior motives. His motive was to get the Xiao sisters. How ridiculous was that? He was now the Xiao family's benefactor. Not only did Xiao Hongyun not thank him, but he even asked him to leave immediately. Okay, I'll leave right away, Lu Ming sneered. Since they didn't welcome him, why should he stay here? Brother Lu, don't listen to second uncle's nonsense. You saved Grandpa. Grandpa said that he wants to thank you, Ah Hui said anxiously. Ah Lei's eyes were also filled with anxiety. What nonsense. You two ignorant girls. You are now Ling Yunkong's people, but you are so close to this kid. What will Ling Yunkong think if he knows? Do you want to put the Xiao family in danger? Do you want the Xiao family to be destroyed? Xiao Hongyun scolded loudly. You're talking nonsense. When did we become Ling Yunkong's people? It's all your wishful thinking. Ah Hui retorted loudly. Xiao Hongyun's face became even gloomier. He looked at Lu Ming and said, "Why aren't you leaving? Do you want to stay here? Kid, you cured my grandpa's poison. This mid-grade profound crystal is your reward. Take it and get out of here." Xiao Ning waved his hand and a mid-grade profound crystal flew towards Lu Ming. Lu Ming's eyes flashed. He smashed the crystal into pieces and coldly glanced at Xiao Ning and Xiao Hongyun. Finally, he looked at Ah Hui and Ah Lei and said, "Ah Hui, Ah Lei, thank you for your hospitality these past few days. Goodbye." After saying that, he turned into a beam of light and soared into the sky, leaving the Xiao clan. "Brother Lu!" Ah Hui cried out, and then she glared hatefully at Xiao Hongyun and his son. "Is this how the Xiao clan treats our benefactor? We'll probably become a laughingstock if news of this spreads. Besides, even if we die, we won't go to the floating mountain to see Ling Yunkong. Just give up. Ah Lei, let's go." Ah Hui pulled Ah Lei and ran out of the Xiao family. Lu Ming flew all the way, covering hundreds of miles in the blink of an eye. He arrived at a street in the north of Lishui City. Thereafter, he chose a restaurant and ordered some side dishes to eat and drink. With his current state of mind, he naturally wouldn't be in a bad mood because of Xiao Hongyun and the others. The Xiao family had nothing to do with him. It was just a relay station that he passed by. The only thing he was worried about was Ah Hui and Ah Lei. The two girls were very innocent. He was afraid that they would become tools for Xiao Hongyun and his son. "What's wrong? Kid, you can't let go of those two girls." Out of nowhere, Dandan appeared on the table. She held a drumstick and started munching. After a few days, Dandan's injuries had basically healed. "Yes, I am indeed worried. I plan to cultivate near Lishui City. If you have time, help me keep an eye on it." Lu Ming nodded. "Sure, but you can't leave me out of the spiritual herbs." Dandan's mouth was full of oil. After a while, the chicken leg was finished by Dandan. After eating and drinking to his heart's content, Lu Ming found a nearby inn to stay in. In a room of the Xiao family, Xiao Hongyun and Xiao Ning were discussing something. "Damn it, I didn't expect that kid Lu Shaoqing to be able to cure the old man's poison," Xiao Hongyun said with a gloomy face. "Father, what should we do now? When the old man wakes up, he will definitely object to us giving those two girls to Ling Yunkong." Chapter 998. Now, we can only strike first to gain the upper hand. You go to Ling Yunkong now and ask him to send someone to take Ah Hui and Ah Lei directly to the floating mountain. When the rice is cooked, let's see how the old guy will object. Xiao Hongyun's eyes flashed with a scheming light. "Okay, father, I'll do it now." Xiao Ning nodded and left the room in a hurry. Lishui City was surrounded by lakes. Endless rivers, lakes, and lakes converged with the land. This territory was filled with water vapor. The next day, Lu Ming left Lishui City and headed north. After tens of thousands of miles, countless lakes came into view. This area was called the 10,000 Lakes Plain. It was said that there were more than 10,000 lakes here. There were countless lakes of different sizes. The big ones were 10,000 miles wide, while the small ones were only a few miles wide. They were spread throughout this vast area. Lu Ming came here to comprehend the concept of water. At a glance, he could see many figures walking on the lakes. Whoosh, whoosh. Sword chi and water screens flashed from time to time. Human martial artists were killing the water demons in the lakes. There were countless lakes in the 10,000 Lakes Plain. Naturally, there were many water demons. Hiss. A huge catfish, more than 30 meters long, drilled out of the lake. It opened its mouth and bit at Lu Ming, wanting to swallow Lu Ming in one gulp. True essence erupted. Lu Ming stepped out and stomped the catfish to death. Then, his devouring power erupted and devoured the essence blood of the catfish. As for the other demonic powers and blood, Lu Ming didn't devour them. That scene was too shocking. He was afraid that it would spread. Moreover, Lu Ming's cultivation couldn't increase because of his concept. Devouring those energies wouldn't be of much use. Of course, There was another way to improve Lu Ming's concept of water quickly. That was to kill other martial artists and devour their concepts. There were many people in the vicinity of Lizhui City who had comprehended the concept of water. He could find any one of them. However, Lu Ming would not do that. If it was an enemy, Lu Ming naturally wouldn't show any mercy. But to make him kill others just to improve his own cultivation, Lu Ming absolutely couldn't do such a thing. Stepping on the surface of the lake, Lu Ming felt the water vapor in the surroundings. He immersed himself in it, continuously comprehending the state of water. Next, Lu Ming comprehended the concept of water in this boundless body of water. 7 days passed in the blink of an eye. How terrifying was Lu Ming's comprehension ability now? Every day, he made great progress. 7 days later, Lu Ming sat cross-legged on a huge lake. The water in this lake was very strange. It moved without wind, as if it had a mind of its own. The water vapor in this lake was the densest, and the comprehension of the concept of water was exceptionally clear. Therefore, many people were attracted to this place to cultivate. Lu Ming also sat cross-legged on the lake, quietly comprehending and comprehending. Peak of 3rd grade entry. Lu Ming's mouth revealed a trace of a smile. His concept of water had already reached the peak of 3rd grade entry. Look, that's the disciples of the floating mountain sect. At this moment, someone suddenly exclaimed, attracting the attention of many people. They looked up at the sky. Lu Ming also looked up and saw a few figures walking on air, heading towards Lizhui City. There were a total of 8 people. They weren't old, most of them in their 30s. Xiao Ning. Lu Ming frowned as he saw Xiao Ning's figure in the crowd. These are the disciples of the floating mountain sect, and they are together with Xiao Ning. Could they be Ling Yunkong's men? Lu Ming frowned as he thought of Ah Hui and Ah Lei. Let's go take a look. Lu Ming got up and walked on the lake, following behind from a distance. Soon, they arrived at Lizhui City. Xiao Ning and the others walked on air and entered. When Lu Ming arrived at the Xiao family, he saw that the entrance of the Xiao family was already crowded with people. Why are the people of the floating mountain sect here? The leader is called Ling Kai. I've seen him before. He is Ling Yunkong's subordinate. What? Ling Yunkong? One of the top 10 prodigies of the floating mountain sect, Ling Yunkong? Exclamations came from all around. That's right. I heard that Ling Yunkong took a fancy to the Xiao sisters and wanted to take them as his concubines. However, the Xiao sisters never agreed. This time, he's probably here to take them away. Take them away? So overbearing? Nonsense. Who is Ling Yunkong? So what if he's overbearing? Who dares to resist? That's true. I heard that Ling Yunkong is a playboy. The Xiao sisters are indeed beautiful. If they were taken away by Ling Yunkong, they would be like lambs in a tiger's den. Lu Ming had just arrived when he heard the discussions around him. Circulating his true essence, the people in front of Lu Ming were silently pushed aside by Lu Ming. Lu Ming walked forward. I'm not going. I won't go even if you beat me to death. Lu Ming had just walked to the front when he heard a tender voice. He knew it was Ah Hui's voice. Lu Ming looked forward and saw a group of youths standing in front of the Xiao residence. Opposite them stood Xiao Hongyun, Ah Hui, and Ah Lei. At this moment, the Xiao sisters were glaring at the youth from the floating mountain sect, Xiao Hongyun, and Xiao Ning angrily. You're not going? Bastards, it's your fortune that young Master Ling Yunkong took a fancy to you. Do you know how many girls are jealous of you? You dare not go. As long as you serve young Master Ling well, what can you not get in the future? All kinds of cultivation resources will be available. Xiao Hongyun scolded with a sullen face. Many people in the crowd secretly shook their heads. Xiao Hongyun might not be right. If they really fell in love with the floating mountain sect's prodigy and became husband and wife, it would naturally be as Xiao Hongyun said. However, Ling Yunkong was a playboy who liked the new and hated the old. Being with him might not end well. If you say you're not going, then go by yourself. Ah Lei, let's go and find Grandpa. Ah Hui pulled Ah Lei, wanting to run into the Xiao residence. Bastards, you're putting the Xiao family in danger by doing this. How can we allow you to run amok? Stop right there. Xiao Hongyun took a step forward, blocking the two sisters. A powerful aura rose from his body, and with a wave of his hand, his true yuan formed a true yuan cage, trapping the two sisters. Today, you have to go even if you don't want to. Young Master Kai, I'll leave these two girls to you. Xiao Hongyun looked at Ling Kai flatteringly. Ian, these two girls haven't seen the world. After young Master Yunkong's teachings, they'll be obedient. Ling Kai chuckled and asked for more than 1,000. What are you doing? At this moment, a loud roar came from the Xiao residence. Then, a group of people followed an old man out. That old man was Xiao Zhan. After 7 days, Xiao Zhan had not fully recovered, but his aura was many times stronger than 7 days ago. It was obvious that he had recovered part of his cultivation. At this moment, Xiao Zhan was like a mad lion, glaring at Xiao Hongyun. Grandpa! Our Hui and our Lei shouted. Our Hui, our Lei, don't be afraid. Grandpa is here. Chapter 999. Xiao Hongyun frowned and said, Father, look at what you're saying. I'm just thinking for Xiao family. For Xiao family? I think you're doing this for yourself and your son. Xiao Zhan roared. Father, Ning'er is also your grandson. Xiao Hongyun frowned. Grandson? I don't have a grandson who grovels all day and uses his family to exchange for his future. If he doesn't have the backbone of a martial artist, how can he have any achievements? Xiao Zhan shouted. These words made Xiao Ning's face turn ugly as his eyes flickered with an ominous glint. Old man, I advise you to be sensible. This time, young Master Yunkong has already said that we must bring these two girls back. If you try to stop us, you're not giving young Master Yunkong any face. You're not giving our hanging mountain any face. At this moment, Ling Kai spoke with a cold gaze. Young hero, this old man doesn't have any intention of not giving face to the hanging mountain sect, nor do I dare to do so. But when it comes to love, both parties need to be in love with each other. Since my two granddaughters have no interest in young Master Yunkong, why must you force them? Xiao Zhan said. Feelings need to be nurtured. I'll bring them back and spend some time with young Master Cloud Realm. Won't feelings develop then? Ling Kai sneered. Can young Master Cloud Realm officially marry the two girls and make them his wives? Xiao Zhan asked. Ling Kai frowned and said coldly, Enough, old man. Who do these two girls think they are? It's already a great fortune to be able to scout young Master Cloud Realm. You still want to officially marry him and make them his wives? Are you dreaming? All right, old man, move aside. After saying this, Ling Kai's gaze was like lightning and his aura was oppressive. 2nd level of Spirit Embryo Realm. Lu Ming could tell that Ling Kai's cultivation had already reached the 2nd level of Spirit Embryo Realm. To be able to reach such a cultivation at Ling Kai's age, he was obviously a genius. No, as disciples of Floating Sky Mountain, are you going to snatch them by force? Xiao Zhan walked to our Hui and our Lei's side and blocked their path. Grandfather. Fear appeared in our Hui and our Lei's eyes as they grabbed onto Xiao Zhan's arm tightly. Our Hui, our Lei, don't be afraid. Grandfather is here. Xiao Zhan comforted as a powerful aura rose from his body. Even though Xiao Zhan hadn't fully recovered, the strength of his aura wasn't any weaker than someone at the 3rd level of Spirit Embryo Realm as he fought against Ling Kai. The other Xiao clan disciples who came out with Xiao Zhan also stood beside Xiao Zhan and stared at the Floating Mountain disciples. Old man, it seems like you're refusing a toast only to be forced to drink a forfeit. Your ant-like Xiao family dares to go against young Master Yunkong? You're courting death. A cold light flashed in Ling Kai's eyes. He took a step forward, and his aura became even stronger. Although his cultivation was weaker than Xiao Zhan's, his aura was extremely strong, and he was actually able to suppress Xiao Zhan. This was the strength of a genius. Xiao Zhan stared at Ling Kai with a dignified expression. His entire body was tense, as if he would be attacked by Ling Kai at any moment. I'll count to 3. If you don't hand him over, I'll kill one of your Xiao clan members in one breath. 3. Ling Kai said coldly. Xiao Zhan, the Xiao sisters, and the other members of the Xiao clan all had ugly expressions on their faces. Ling Kai was too overbearing. 2. Ling Kai said. The surrounding people were silent. This was Ling Yunkong's matter. Ling Yunkong was one of the 10 great geniuses of Floating Mountain, so who would dare to interfere? Xiao Zhan and the rest had ugly expressions. Xiao Zhan clenched his fists tightly, but he didn't make a sound. 1. Ling Kai spat out the word 1, and his killing intent intensified. Seems like you're not going to hand them over. You're courting death. Kill. Ling Kai waved his hand, and a youth beside him took a step forward. His figure shot out like lightning, and a sword light pierced through the air, stabbing towards a Xiao clan disciple. It was so fast that the Xiao clan disciple didn't even have time to react. In the next moment, everyone saw a head flying high into the air, and fresh blood spurted out. A Xiao clan disciple was killed without any resistance. The youth from Floating Mountain was at the first level of Spirit Embryo Realm. No. Xiao Zhan roared like a mad lion, his eyes blazing with fury. However, he was suppressed by Ling Kai's powerful aura, and couldn't help at all. If he helped, Hui and her sister would be taken away by Ling Kai. Seems like you're not going to hand them over. Kill. Ling Kai's voice continued to ring out. Sword light flashed, and a blood-curdling scream rang out. Another Xiao clan disciple was killed. Xiao Zhan's eyes were about to spit fire. Xiao Hongyun and Xiao Ning stood at the side, their eyes cold and indifferent. No, don't kill, we'll go with you. Hui and her sister cried out with tears in their eyes. No, Grandpa can't send you into the tiger's den, or else, how can I face your parent? Xiao Zhan roared, his eyes red. Old man, I think you're really looking for death. Kill, continue to kill, until you kill everyone from Xiao clan. I don't believe that he won't hand them over. Today, I'll kill until he hands them over, Ling Kai shouted, his voice filled with killing intent. Xiao. Sword light flashed out again, but this time, there was no blood-curdling scream, because the hand that was holding the sword was grabbed by someone. A youth in black robes suddenly appeared in front of the youth from Floating Mountain and grabbed his wrist. Enough. The youth in black robes said coldly. Brother Lu. Hui called out softly. This youth in black robes was Lu Ming. Little brother Lu, leave quickly, this has nothing to do with you. When Xiao Zhan saw that it was Lu Ming, he didn't show any joy, instead, he urged Lu Ming to leave quickly. Lu Ming looked like he was in his 20s, while the opponent was a colossus like Floating Mountain. Ling Yunkong was one of the top 10 heavens prides of Floating Mountain. Lu Ming couldn't resist at all. Lu Ming was his benefactor, so he didn't want to drag Lu Ming into this. Sure enough, Ling Kai's eyes darkened. The youth whose wrist was grabbed by Lu Ming was filled with killing intent as he berated, Brat, how dare you sneak attack me, you're courting death. True Yuan burst out, and a black light flashed. The youth planned to shake off Lu Ming and kill Lu Ming with a sword. Catcher, catcher. Lu Ming's wrist shook, and the youth's arm twisted like dough, giving off cracking sounds of bones breaking. He gave a miserable shriek and flew far away, landing heavily on the ground, howling in grief like a dying wild dog. The surroundings suddenly became quiet, and many people were shocked. The youth from Floating Mountain wasn't weak, with a cultivation at the first level of Spirit Embryo Realm. Even though he couldn't be considered a heaven's pride, he was still considered outstanding among those at the first level of Spirit Embryo Realm. Yet, he couldn't even block one move from Lu Ming. Who was Lu Ming? How could he be so strong? Hui and Lei opened their mouths slightly stunned. They originally thought that Lu Ming's strength was about the same as theirs, at most a little stronger. Never did they expect that an expert at the first level of Spirit Embryo Realm would be easily defeated by Lu Ming. A hint of astonishment flashed through Xiao Zhan's eyes, but his gaze was still grave. A martial artist at the first level of Spirit Embryo Realm wasn't much, but Ling Kai was at the peak of the second level of Spirit Embryo Realm and was a heaven's pride. He wasn't someone that the youth just now could compare to. Brat, to dare to sneak attack and injure a disciple of my Floating Mountain, I think you must have eaten a true dragon's gallbladder. I'll give you a chance now, kneel down and kowtow to admit your mistake, then cripple your own cultivation, and I'll spare your life. Chapter 1000. Lu Ming smiled faintly and said, "Floating Sky Mountain is an overlord power. To think that their disciples would be so unbearable to actually snatch a girl, how disappointing." Lu Ming shook his head and sighed. Ling Kai's face turned sinister as he shouted, "Brat, you dare to look down on my floating sky mountain. Now you have no chance to live, you will definitely die." "What do you mean look down on you? This is the truth. If floating sky mountain is like you or trash like Ling Yunkong, I think it won't be long before it perishes." Lu Ming smiled faintly and said loudly. The hearts of the surrounding people twitched as they took in a cold breath. This Lu Ming was too daring. He actually dared to talk about Ling Yunkong and floating sky mountain like this. Even though they thought the same in their hearts, they didn't dare to say a word. Boasting shamelessly. "Who do you think you are to talk about young Master Yunkong and floating sky mountain? Kill him for me," Ling Kai said coldly and waved his hand. Behind him, 5 youths rushed out at the same time and 5 long swords covered Lu Ming. These 5 youths were the same as the previous one. They looked to be in their early 30s and couldn't be considered as geniuses. However, their battle power wasn't weak either. They were all experts at the first level of Spirit Embryo Realm. Lu Ming sighed in his heart. Central Continent was indeed the center of Divine Wasteland Continent. It was a holy land for cultivation and there were so many experts. There weren't many people in Eastern Wasteland who had reached Spirit Embryo Realm in their 30s, but here, they were continuously meeting. Scram. Lu Ming spat out a word and a long spear appeared in his hand. With a tremble, 5 spear lights appeared and pierced towards the 5 youths. Puff, puff, puff. Fresh blood splattered everywhere as the 5 youths screamed and retreated in a hurry. A bloody hole appeared on each of their shoulders and fresh blood flowed out. The faces of the 5 youths were pale and their eyes were filled with fear. If Lu Ming's spear lights had pierced their throats, they would have been dead. "Now, scram!" Lu Ming shouted coldly and stared at Ling Kai with a gaze like lightning. "Brat, you are courting death." Not only did Ling Kai not retreat, his killing intent became even more intense. Wang. Above Ling Kai's head, a big fish appeared. This fish was incomparably ferocious, like a battle sword. Its body was slender, and its eyes revealed a fierce light. Ancient swordfish was Ling Kai's bloodline. There were 3 golden chakras shining on it. Ling Kai was an expert who had awakened a level 3 divine bloodline. He was a genius among geniuses. Even though Lu Ming's battle strength was not weak, he was still fearless. With his battle prowess, it was enough to deal with strong practitioners at the 4th level of Spirit Embryo Realm. Clang! There was an explosion of sword gleams. Dazzling sword gleams were released from Ling Kai's hands. Countless sword auras were released toward Lu Ming. With a flick of his spear, space buzzed as boundless spear light appeared. Clang! 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 The rapid sound of metal colliding rang out. It was extremely dense, and it rang out several hundred times. Then, Ling Kai's figure retreated rapidly. Several holes had appeared on his body, and blood was flowing out. His face was pale and gloomy. It was obvious that Lu Ming had shown mercy. However, not only was Ling Kai not grateful, he was even more resentful. In his heart, Lu Ming did not dare to kill him because he was from the Floating Mountain sect. It was natural that Lu Ming would not kill him. However, Lu Ming had injured him and embarrassed him. He would not be able to answer to Ling Yunkong when he returned. This was a huge sin. "Brat, just you wait. Just you wait." Ling Kai roared angrily and led the others away, turning into a few sword lights and disappearing into the sky. Lu Ming did not give chase. If he was alone, he would have just killed these trash. Lu Ming would not have frowned at all. However, he had to take the Xiao clan into consideration, so he showed mercy. Ah Hui, Ah Lei, and Xiao Zhon were stunned. They did not expect Lu Ming's battle prowess to be so high that even Ling Kai was not Lu Ming's opponent and was easily defeated by Lu Ming. Xiao Hongyun and Xiao Ning were also dumbfounded. At the same time, their expressions were extremely ugly. "Brat, how dare you injure a heaven's pride of the Floating Mountain sect? It doesn't matter if you want to die, but don't drag our Xiao clan into it." At this moment, Xiao Ning strode out with a gloomy face, pointing at Lu Ming and cursing. Lu Ming frowned and a trace of killing intent flashed in the depths of his eyes. "Shut up. Little brother Lu was trying to save us," Xiao Zhan reprimanded. "Grandfather, you're old and muddle-headed. What save us? You're clearly harming us. Letting Ling Kai take our Hui and our Lei away was the best choice. That way, our Xiao clan would have a meteoric rise. Now, it's all ruined by this brat. Our Xiao clan will be in trouble." Xiao Ning shouted with a sinister expression. "Bastard!" Xiao Zhan glared at Xiao Ning, trembling with anger. "Ning'er is right. Brat, I knew you had bad intentions. Now that you've offended young Master Ling Yunkong, we're all in trouble." Xiao Hongyun took a step forward and said coldly. "Ha ha ha, framing your Xiao clan and bringing trouble to your Xiao clan? Ridiculous, really ridiculous. Who was the one who killed the Xiao clan's disciples?" "Me." Lu Ming laughed. Xiao Hongyun and Xiao Ning were really shameless. Just now, when the floating mountain sect's disciples killed the Xiao clan's disciples, Xiao Hongyun and Xiao Ning didn't say a word. Now that Lu Ming helped the Xiao clan beat back Ling Kai and the others, the two jumped out to criticize him. How could there be such a ridiculous thing in the world? So what if a few Xiao clan's trash died? Who told them to be disobedient? Xiao Ning sneered. Slap. Lu Ming slapped Xiao Ning's face with a backhand. Xiao Ning spun a few rounds in the air and fell heavily on the ground. One side of his face was swollen like a pig's head. He looked at Lu Ming with a dumbfounded expression. Lu Ming actually dared to hit him? In my eyes, you're also trash. Why don't you go and die? Lu Ming looked down at Xiao Ning and said coldly. How dare you? I'll take you down right now and cripple your cultivation. I'll personally send you to apologize to young Master Ling Yunkong, Xiao Hongyun shouted as the aura on his body exploded. He took a step forward and rushed towards Lu Ming, sending a palm towards Lu Ming. 5th level of Spirit Embryo Realm. Xiao Hongyun's cultivation had reached the 5th level of Spirit Embryo Realm. With his cultivation, he could have stopped Ling Kai, but he didn't move at all. Now, he wanted to take down Lu Ming. Stop! Xiao Zhan shouted in anger. He didn't expect Xiao Hongyun and Xiao Ning to be so shameless. He was so angry that he almost vomited blood. However, his cultivation hadn't fully recovered, so it was too late for him to stop Xiao Hongyun. Facing Xiao Hongyun's palm, Lu Ming didn't move at all, as if he had no intention of retaliating. Xiao Hongyun's heart jumped as he had a bad premonition. This brat is so young, and I've never heard of his name. I don't believe that he's my opponent. Thinking of this, Xiao Hongyun's palm strength increased as it flew towards Lu Ming. Just as the palm strength was about to hit Lu Ming's feet moved slightly, and Xiao Hongyun's palm was dodged by Lu Ming. At the same time, Lu Ming stretched out his hand and grabbed Xiao Hongyun's face, pressing it against the ground. Boom! The ground shook as Xiao Hongyun's face came into close contact with the ground, creating a huge crater. Smoke and dust filled the air. Chapter 1001. When the dust settled, Xiao Hongyun was lying on the ground like a dead dog. His face was completely deformed and blood was seeping out from his mouth. His body was twitching and it was a tragic sight. The surrounding onlookers were tongue-tied and couldn't say anything for a long time. Xiao Hongyun, who was at the 5th level of Spirit Embryo Realm, couldn't resist Lu Ming at all. Lu Ming's strength became unfathomable in the hearts of the onlookers. What's the use of keeping a person like you in this world? I'll send you on your way. A cold killing intent burst out from Lu Ming's eyes. Xiao Hongyun felt Lu Ming's killing intent and shuddered. He became much more clear-headed and broke out in cold sweat. He crawled towards Xiao Zhan with all his might and shouted, Father, Father, save me, I won't dare to do it again. I was wrong this time, save me. Xiao Zhan's gaze was complicated and he let out a sigh. He cupped his fists towards Lu Ming and said, Little brother Lu, can you spare him this time? Xiao Hongyun was his son after all and also his last son. Seeing him being killed by Lu Ming, Xiao Zhan couldn't bear it. Lu Ming shook his head in his heart. He already knew this would happen. Xiao Zhan valued friendship too much. Although he was disappointed in Xiao Hongyun, he didn't want to see him die. Since Senior Xiao has spoken, I'll spare him this time, Lu Ming said. In his eyes, it didn't matter if Xiao Hongyun was killed because he didn't care at all. Why would he care about someone who could be killed with a slap? Big brother Lu, I didn't expect you to be so powerful. Ah Hui ran over and looked at Lu Ming with admiration. Ah Lei also stood behind Ah Hui and blinked her eyes, peeking at Lu Ming. Lu Ming's strength was far beyond their expectations. It seemed like even their grandfather wasn't a match for Lu Ming. Lu Ming smiled and looked at Xiao Zhan. Senior Xiao, what do you plan to do next? It was obvious that Ling Yunkong wouldn't let this matter rest. Little brother Lu, let's talk inside, Xiao Zhan said. Lu Ming nodded and walked into the Xiao clan's mansion with Xiao Zhan, Ah Hui, and Ah Lei. Ling Yunkong shouldn't be here so soon. I plan to dismiss the Xiao family and take Ah Hui and Ah Lei to the ends of the world. But this time, I'm really sorry to have involved you. As he spoke, Xiao Zhan bowed towards Lu Ming. Lu Ming waved his hand, and a strand of Jin Yuan spread out, dragging Xiao Zhan along. Senior, there's no need to be so polite. I, Ah Hui, and Ah Lei can be considered friends. I can't just watch them be taken away by the people of the floating mountain. Moreover, I'm alone, so I'm not afraid of them. Xiao Zhan could feel Lu Ming's vast true essence. He found that he couldn't even bow down a little bit. He was secretly shocked in his heart. In his eyes, Lu Ming was even more unfathomable. This old man is truly unable to repay little brother's kindness. Xiao Zhan cupped his fists. Lu Ming had cured his poison before, and this time, he had saved Ah Hui and Ah Hui. He was truly a great benefactor to them. After chatting for a while, Xiao Zhan ordered everyone in the Xiao family to pack their things. They planned to wait until night and take advantage of the darkness to leave in batches. Lishui City and the Xiao family definitely couldn't stay. Half a day passed, and night fell. The disciples of the Xiao family fled into the night in batches and disappeared. Lu Ming, Xiao Zhan, Ah Hui, and Ah Lei sat in the courtyard, slowly drinking tea. Master, let this old servant stay and take care of you. An old man with a head full of white hair stood beside Xiao Zhan and pleaded. The old man was very old, but he was still full of spirit. But now, his eyes were filled with sadness and reluctance. Grandpa Quan, Ah Hui and Ah Lei were also reluctant to part. The old man was called Feng Quan. He had been in the Xiao family for hundreds of years. Now, he was the housekeeper of the Xiao family. He had watched Ah Hui and Ah Lei grow up and had deep feelings for the Xiao family. Ah Quan, it's very dangerous to follow us. You still have a family. Hurry up and leave. If there's a chance, we'll meet again, Xiao Zhan said. He was helpless, but this was the only way now. If they stayed, they would all die when Ling Yunkong brought people here. Only by leaving would they have a chance of survival. Xiao Zhan's attitude was firm. Feng Quan was helpless. Then, he said goodbye to Xiao Zhan and the others in tears. Grandpa, it's all our fault. Ah Hui and Ah Lei were teary-eyed. If it weren't for them, this wouldn't have happened. You two silly girls, don't let your imagination run wild. Xiao Zhan chuckled, then looked at Lu Ming and said, Little brother Lu, it's getting late. You should leave. We'll disguise ourselves and leave the city at dawn. Lu Ming had already helped them a lot. He didn't want to implicate Lu Ming. Before Lu Ming could say anything, footsteps were heard in the courtyard. The next moment, Xiao Hongyun and Xiao Ning appeared and walked in. What are you still doing here? Hurry up and get lost. Xiao Zhan scolded coldly. Plop, plop. To everyone's surprise, Xiao Hongyun and Xiao Ning knelt down in front of Xiao Zhan. Father, I was wrong. I was blinded by greed and thought of using Ah Hui and Ah Lei to curry favor with Ling Yunkong. That's why this happened. I was wrong. Xiao Hongyun kowtowed to Xiao Zhan and cried bitterly. He then kowtowed to Lu Ming and said, Thanks to young Master Lu for waking me up this time. I suddenly realized that what I did previously was a huge mistake. Thank you, young Master Lu. Xiao Ning kowtowed along with Xiao Hongyun. Lu Ming frowned. Xiao Zhan also frowned. Father, I only hope that you can forgive me. Then, I'll bring Ning to Ling Yunkong and beg for mercy. I'll buy some time for you and Ah Hui to leave, Xiao Hongyun said with a sincere look. Grandpa, look, second uncle also knows his mistake. Just forgive him. Ah Hui whispered. Yes, Grandpa. Ah Lei also said. The two sisters were very kind. Seeing that Xiao Hongyun seemed to be sincere, they begged for mercy for Xiao Hongyun. Slap. Slap. Suddenly, Xiao Hongyun slapped himself repeatedly. As he slapped himself, he cried out, Father, I was wrong. I beg for your forgiveness. After a few slaps, both sides of Xiao Hongyun's face swelled up. Well, it's good that you know you're wrong. Everyone makes mistakes. Just remember that you have to grasp your own opportunities and not sacrifice your loved ones. Xiao Zhan was soft-hearted. Seeing this, he sighed. Thank you, Father. Xiao Hongyun smiled and said, Father, I don't know when we'll meet again after this farewell. I've prepared a feast in the hall. It's been a long time since I've had a gathering with Father and my nieces. Let's just say goodbye to Father and my nieces. A banquet? There's no need for that. As long as you have the heart. Xiao Zhan said. Father, this is a small gift from me. Maybe we'll never meet again. Xiao Hongyun sighed and showed a regretful and sad look. Grandpa, let's go. I think second uncle is sincere. Ah Hui whispered and Ah Lei nodded repeatedly. Well, okay. Chapter 1002. Xiao Hongyun was overjoyed. Thank you, Father. Then, he looked at Lu Ming and said, Young Master Lu, I apologize for offending you in the past. Why don't you join us? Millimeter, that's good. There's no reason to refuse. Lu Ming smiled. Then, the six of them came to the main hall. There was indeed a table full of delicious wine and delicacies. Xiao Hongyun poured everyone a cup of wine, then raised his cup and said, Father, Ah Hui, Ah Lei, and young Master Lu, I made a big mistake in the past. I'll punish myself with a cup. Then, he raised his cup and drained it in one gulp. Xiao Zhan, Ah Hui, and Ah Lei also raised their cups and took a sip. Lu Ming raised his cup with a faint smile on his face. Young Master Lu, please. Seeing that Lu Ming did not drink, a trace of panic flashed in the depths of Xiao Hongyun's eyes. Then, a sincere smile appeared on his face. It's really good wine. You'll know after smelling it. Lu Ming laughed, then raised his cup and drained it in one gulp. Seeing this, Xiao Hongyun and Xiao Ning's eyes flashed with a trace of surprise. Young Master Lu is generous. Come, let's eat. Xiao Hongyun smiled. Everyone sat down, and Xiao Ning poured wine for them. Young Master Lu, you're so young, but you have such a cultivation base. I'm really impressed. I've never heard of your name before. May I know which force you're from? Xiao Hongyun said. Hearing this, Xiao Zhan, Ah Hui, and Ah Lei were also curious. It had been half a year since the Battle of Providence ended. During the Battle of Providence, all the hidden geniuses who were secretly nurtured by the unparalleled experts had revealed themselves. Now, who didn't know the names of these geniuses? However, they were unfamiliar with Lu Shaoqing. Did he not participate in the Battle of Providence? I don't belong to any force. I used to cultivate in the mountains. This is my first time coming out. Lu Ming smiled. Everyone was stunned. Did Lu Ming really not participate in the Battle of Providence? This was truly rare. Generally speaking, when encountering a battle of karmic luck, there was practically no genius who wouldn't be tempted. Haha, young Master Lu, you have such a cultivation base even though you haven't participated in the Battle of Providence. This is truly rare. Come, let me offer you a toast. Xiao Hongyun raised his cup and drained it in one gulp. Lu Ming smiled and drained his cup as well. Good wine, really good wine. You guys are really considerate. Lu Ming clicked his tongue, a look of enjoyment on his face. Haha, it seems like young Master Lu is a wine lover. You should drink more if you like. Xiao Hongyun smiled. Xiao Ning immediately poured a cup of wine for Lu Ming. He raised his cup and said, Brother Lu, please forgive my previous offense. Sure. Lu Ming smiled, picked up the wine cup and drained it in one gulp. The joy on Xiao Hongyun and Xiao Ning's faces deepened. Afterwards, Xiao Hongyun and Xiao Ning repeatedly apologized to Xiao Zhan, Ah Hui, and Ah Lei, and proposed a toast to them. Soon, the Xiao sisters' faces were flushed red, and they looked exceptionally beautiful. Grandpa, Ah Hui, why do I feel a little cold? At this moment, Ah Lei whispered. I feel a little cold too. Ah Hui shivered and exhaled. A layer of frost actually formed in the air. Xiao Zhan's expression changed drastically. Ah Hui and Ah Lei were both in the complete spiritual sea realm. How could they suddenly feel cold? Even if they were in a world of ice and snow, they would not feel cold. At this moment, Xiao Zhan also felt a trace of coldness in his meridians. Bang! Xiao Zhan suddenly stood up from his chair and stared at Xiao Hongyun and Xiao Ning like a mad lion. He roared, "Bastards, you poisoned the wine?" Before he could finish his words, Xiao Zhan felt the world spinning around him. He could not stand and sat back down in his chair. Ah Hui and Ah Lei looked at Xiao Hongyun in disbelief. They had never imagined that Xiao Hongyun would actually poison them. Didn't Xiao Hongyun admit his mistake just now? Could it be that everything was fake? The two sisters found it unbelievable. "It's so cold," Ah Lei cried. At this moment, her face was no longer flushed. Instead, a layer of frost had appeared. At the same time, every time she exhaled, a layer of frost would appear in the air. Ha ha ha. At this time, Xiao Hongyun let out an earth-shattering laugh, laughing hysterically. "Old man, you two stinky girls, you still want to leave? If you leave, what will happen to Ning'er and I? We can't let our bright futures be ruined in your hands." Xiao Hongyun laughed. At this moment, he completely revealed his true nature. His face was full of ferocity. "And you, boy, how dare you interfere? I'll kill you." Xiao Hongyun stared at Lu Ming ferociously. "Bastard, you bastard." Xiao Zhan roared. He was extremely sad and disappointed. Just now, he really thought that Xiao Hongyun had found his conscience and turned over a new leaf. He did not expect that everything was fake. Xiao Hongyun pretended to be pitiful and remorseful in front of them just to trick them into drinking and eating. He had already poisoned the wine and food. At this moment, a layer of frost appeared on Xiao Zhan's face. A layer of light suffused his body as he tried to force the poison out. However, he had not fully recovered, so it was useless. "Old man, there's no need to force the poison out. It's useless. This is Snowheart poison. It's 10 times more poisonous than the rainbow viper. You can't force it out." Xiao Hongyun sneered. Snowheart poison. Xiao Zhan's face was covered in misery. Snowheart poison was extremely famous among all the strange poisons in the world. Without an antidote, even a spirit god would find it difficult to force out the poison once poisoned. "Old man, I might as well tell you something else. You were bitten by the rainbow viper in the chaotic mountain range. It was young Master Yunkong who lured the rainbow viper over. Otherwise, hihi." Xiao Hongyun continued to sneer. "What? Bastard, then you were the one who revealed my whereabouts." Xiao Zhan staggered and almost lost his footing. "Ha ha ha. That's right. Besides me and Ning'er, only a Hui and a Lei knew about your whereabouts. Who else could it be?" Xiao Hongyun and Xiao Ning laughed arrogantly. "Bastard." Xiao Zhan's face was covered in misery and despair. "How can I take control of the Xiao clan if you don't die? Also, how can those two girls marry Ling Yunkong if you don't die? Do you know that you're an obstacle to me?" Xiao Hongyun's face was savage. "That's right. Old man, I'm your grandson as well. But why do you have to protect those two stinking girls? They're clearly so valuable. Why do you want to waste them?" Xiao Ning screamed from the side. Xiao Zhan had given up all hope. Xiao Hongyun and his son were no different from animals. "It's not just the two of you, right? The others should be here soon." At this moment, Lu Ming suddenly spoke. "Hihi, kid, you're right." A sneer resounded as a dozen figures flashed into the hall. Ling Kai and the other youths from the hanging mountain range were among them. It was Ling Kai who had spoken just now. Besides him, There were 7 or 8 middle-aged or old men. All of them had powerful auras and profound cultivations. Chapter 1003. Old man, how dare you disobey young Master Yunkong? You're courting death. How dare you try to sneak away? Humph. Young Master Yunkong has taken a fancy to these 2 girls. Do you think you can escape? Ling Kai glanced coldly at Xiao Zhan, Ahui, and Lei. Xiao Zhan, Ahui, and Lei turned pale. They knew that they were doomed this time. And you, boy, how dare you injure us? You're courting death. Hehe, aren't you in our hands now? Ling Kai looked ferociously at Lu Ming, licked his lips, and continued, but don't worry, I won't kill you easily. I'll let you suffer all the torture in the world and let you die in pain. Sigh. At this time, Lu Ming suddenly sighed. Humph, it's too late to sigh now. Ling Kai said coldly. I'm just sighing. My good mood was ruined by a few stray dogs. What a bummer. Lu Ming sighed. Then, in front of everyone's shocked eyes, he picked up the flagon on the table and said, but this is good wine. Don't waste it. After saying that, Lu Ming opened his mouth and sucked. The wine in the flagon turned into a column of water and flew into Lu Ming's mouth. Lu Ming gulped down every drop. Everyone was dumbfounded. You're not poisoned? How is that possible? Xiao Hongyun shouted in disbelief. He thought he was dreaming. He had clearly seen Lu Ming drink many cups of wine. How could he not be poisoned? Moreover, Lu Ming had drunk all the remaining wine. What was going on? Was Lu Ming not afraid of poison? Ling Kai and the others were also dumbfounded. They had brought the snow heart poison here. They had given the antidote to Xiao Hongyun and Xiao Ning in advance. Then, they had poisoned the wine and dishes. Their main target was Lu Ming. In their eyes, Lu Ming was the most dangerous, while Xiao Zhan and the others were no threat at all. The process went unexpectedly smoothly. Xiao Hongyun and his son successfully brought Xiao Zhan and the others here, and Lu Ming and the others also successfully drank and ate. Moreover, Lu Ming drank the most wine and ate the most dishes. But now, how could Lu Ming be fine? Ling Kai knew better than anyone how powerful the snow heart poison was. Xiao Zhan, Hui, and Lei were a little stunned at first, but then their eyes revealed hope. Lu Ming was actually fine. Earlier, they had already given up all hope. But now, hope was born again. I don't mind telling you, the moment I picked up the wine cup, I knew it was poisoned. Lu Ming looked disdainfully at Xiao Hongyun and smiled faintly. You, no. Why did you still drink it? Xiao Hongyun was still in disbelief. Because this is good wine. How can I let it go to waste? Moreover, I also want to see what kind of tricks you have up your sleeves. Lu Ming smiled faintly and stood up. Light swirled around his body, and a cold aura filled the air. Then, he stretched out his hand and pointed it at Xiao Zhan, Hui, and Lei. A huge devouring power exploded. Then, white threads of light flew out from the 3 of them. When the white threads of light flew through the air, a layer of sparkling white frost appeared in the air. The white threads flew into Lu Ming's palm and were devoured by Lu Ming. Xiao Zhan, Hui, and Lei's faces became rosy. The poison in their bodies had been neutralized. Xiao Hongyun, Xiao Ning, Ling Kai, and the others widened their eyes in shock. Absorbing the poison from a person's body and neutralizing it through the air. They had never heard of such a detoxification method. Now, it's your turn. Since you're here, don't even think about leaving. Lu Ming's gaze swept across, and a cold murderous intent burst out. Not good, retreat. Xiao Hongyun's heart skipped a beat. Without hesitation, he pulled Xiao Ning and retreated rapidly. However, even though they were fast, Lu Ming was faster. Lu Ming moved like a stream of light and appeared in front of Xiao Hongyun and Xiao Ning. He pointed 2 fingers at them. The 2 of them could not resist and were hit by Lu Ming's fingers on their dantian. Puff, puff. Like a punctured balloon, Xiao Hongyun and Xiao Ning screamed. Their bodies flew out and fell to the ground. Their auras were weak, and they were like ordinary people. Their cultivation had been destroyed by Lu Ming. Ah, my cultivation base, my cultivation base. Xiao Hongyun and Xiao Ning screamed miserably, their voices filled with despair. It's over, it's all over. They had wanted to rely on Ling Yunkong to climb up the ranks. Now, before they could curry favor with Ling Yunkong, their cultivation had been destroyed and they had become cripples. There was no hope left. Go, go, go. Ling Kai's pupils contracted rapidly as he screamed. He was about to retreat. Whoosh. Suddenly, Lu Ming appeared in front of Ling Kai. He grabbed Ling Kai's neck and lifted him into the air. Let go of me. What are you doing? I'm with young Master Yunkong. Ling Kai yelled and tried to threaten Lu Ming. Devour. Lu Ming spat out a word coldly and the devouring power suddenly erupted. Ling Kai screamed and struggled. However, to everyone's horror, Ling Kai's body shriveled like a ball and turned into a dried corpse. Bloodthirsty skill. This is Cold Blood Hall's bloodthirsty skill. You're from Cold Blood Hall. Go, go. The others from Floating Mountain screamed and tried to escape. Did I say you could leave? Stay here. Lu Ming stretched out his hand and clenched his fist. Boom. A terrifying devouring power erupted, enveloping everyone from the Floating Mountain sect within. They screamed in horror as their bloodline power, essence blood, fresh blood, and genuine vitality flew out of their bodies and were devoured by Lu Ming. It was a horrible feeling. They watched themselves being devoured and the people around them turning into dried corpses. No, after a while, all the people from Floating Mountain turned into dried corpses and were devoured by Lu Ming. Almost all of them cultivated the essence of water. Lu Ming's essence of water began to improve as the Nine Dragons bloodline continued to refine them. Only Xiao Hongyun, Xiao Ning, Xiao Zhan, Hui, and Lei were left. Not a single person from the Hanging Mountain was left alive. A foul stench wafted in the hall. Lu Ming turned around. It was Xiao Ning. He looked at Lu Ming in horror. He was so scared that he had wet his pants. Xiao Hongyun's face was also pale and full of despair. Xiao Zhan and the other two looked at Lu Ming in shock. Little brother Lu, you're a disciple of Cold Blood Hall? Xiao Zhan asked. Cold Blood Hall? I've never heard of it. I'm not a disciple of Cold Blood Hall. Lu Ming shook his head. You're not a disciple of Cold Blood Hall. Xiao Zhan heaved a sigh of relief. He seemed to be very afraid of Cold Blood Hall. Senior Xiao, I'll leave these two to you. Lu Ming pointed at Xiao Hongyun and Xiao Ning. Xiao Zhan's eyes flashed with killing intent. Father, spare my life. Please spare me this time. I was blinded by lard for a moment. I won't dare to do it again. Xiao Hongyun begged. That's what you said before. You two bastards, leaving you alive will only harm others. I might as well kill you myself. Chapter 1004. Dad, please let us go this time. I'm your son. Xiao Hongyun begged. Grandpa, I beg you, please let me go. This has nothing to do with me. It's all my dad's fault. Yes, it's all his fault. He forced me to do this. Xiao Ning screamed and begged, pushing all the blame onto Xiao Hongyun. Bastard, how dare you slander me? If not for you sucking up to Ling Yunkong, why would I do this? Xiao Hongyun looked at Xiao Ning in disbelief and anger. Grandpa, if you want to kill him, just kill him. I'm innocent. I'm the last man in the Xiao family. I still have to pass on the heirs of the Xiao family. You're the one who gave me this idea. Grandpa, if you want to kill him, just kill him. I'm innocent. I'm the last man in the Xiao family. Xiao Ning shouted. Bastard, I'll kill you. Xiao Hongyun roared and rushed towards Xiao Ning. Don't think I'm afraid of you. Xiao Ning also rushed towards Xiao Hongyun. Their cultivations were crippled, and they fought with their physical strength. Misfortune of the family, misfortune of the family. Xiao Zhan's face was dejected, as if he had aged a few decades. After a while, Xiao Zhan's eyes revealed a look of determination. A sword appeared in his hand, and he said, "What's the use of keeping two scum alive?" Whoosh! With a flash of sword light, two heads flew high into the air, their faces filled with disbelief. After killing Xiao Hongyun and Xiao Ning, Xiao Zhan staggered as if he had lost all his strength. Grandpa. Our Hui and our Lei quickly supported Xiao Zhan. Senior Xiao, you can't fall. The Xiao family and our Hui and our Lei still need you to take care of them, Lu Ming said. Xiao Zhan took a deep breath to calm himself down, and said, yes, our Hui and our Lei are the hope of the Xiao family. We can't let anything happen to them. Let's leave Li's Hui City and Floating Mountain now. I'll send you off first, Lu Ming said. Then, the four of them left the Xiao family under the cover of the night. But just as they stepped out of the Xiao family's house, a bright sword light violently slashed towards them. Lu Ming's face changed. Rumble. The sword light slashed towards the Xiao clan, leaving behind a deep sword scar. Half of the Xiao clan was split into two. A group of figures appeared in the air. Each and every one of them had a cold look in their eyes, and a powerful aura emanated from their bodies. People from the Floating Mountain sect. Xiao Zhan's expression changed drastically. It seems that Ling Kai and the others are dead. Fortunately, I was worried and rushed over personally. Otherwise, you would have really escaped. A cold voice came from afar. A young man in a white robe walked over while waving a folding fan. Soaring cloud. Xiao Zhan, our Hui, and our Lei cried out in alarm. Their faces turned even uglier and even more desperate. One of the top 10 geniuses of the Hanging Mountain, Ling Yunkong, had actually come in person. Whoosh. 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 Around the Xiao clan, many figures appeared in a flash. They flew into the sky and looked over. The commotion caused by the previous sword strike was so great that everyone within 100 li could hear it. They all rushed over to see what was going on. People from the Floating Mountain sect. Ling Yunkong, it's Ling Yunkong. Ling Yunkong has come personally. The Xiao clan is finished. Someone recognized Ling Yunkong and let out a cry of alarm. Brother Lu, leave quickly. Leave quickly. Xiao Zhan anxiously called out to Lu Ming. Lu Ming's battle strength was not bad, but he was definitely not a match for Ling Yunkong. Ling Yunkong was one of the top 10 geniuses of the Floating Mountain sect. His battle strength was terrifying, and countless seniors were not his match. One of the top 10 geniuses of the Floating Mountain sect. Lu Ming's mouth curved into a smile. Instead, his eyes revealed a trace of battle intent and anticipation. The Floating Mountain sect was one of the top forces in the central continent. It was a force on the same level as the Emperor Heaven Deity Palace and the Heavenly Corpse sect. Lu Ming was very curious about the level of the geniuses in such a force. Leave. Today, none of you will leave. Ling Yunkong's voice was cold. His gaze swept over and landed on a Hui and a Lei. Flames of passion flashed in his eyes. He had played with countless beautiful women in his life, but he had never played with such a pair of pure and lovely twins. Just thinking about it made him excited. Old man, kill yourself. And that kid, kill yourself too. That way, I can leave your corpses intact. Ling Yunkong said indifferently. Haha, this is the character of one of the top 10 geniuses of the Floating Mountain sect. Today, I finally see it. How disappointing. Lu Ming shook his head and sighed. In the air, the faces of the experts of the Floating Mountain sect changed. Ling Yunkong's face also darkened. He stared coldly at Lu Ming and said, "Good, kid. Very good. Just because of what you said, I won't let you die. I will let you live, but I will make you regret living." Ling Kai said the same thing before, but he is now a dead dog. I hope you have the right to say it. Lu Ming replied indifferently. Go, cripple him. Ling Yunkong's eyes flashed with killing intent as he waved his hand. Bang! An elder took a step forward and a steel fork appeared in his hand. His aura rose and a powerful pressure pressed towards Lu Ming. It was incomparably shocking. 6th level of Spirit Embryo Realm. This elder's cultivation had reached the 6th level of Spirit Embryo Realm. Boom! The elder waved the steel fork and smashed it towards Lu Ming. Be careful. Brother Lu, be careful. Xiao Zhan and the Xiao sisters cried out in unison, extremely worried. Lu Ming's palm glowed and a spear condensed from his vital essence. The spear swept out and struck the steel fork. With a clang, The steel fork trembled violently and was sent flying. Lu Ming rose into the air and the spear transformed into a ray of light with a faint dragon roar coming out. Upper-grade half-god level martial technique, dazzling dragon spear arts. Poochie. The spear broke through all of the elder's defenses and killed him in one strike. What? The people who were watching the battle not far away were all shocked. Lu Ming's abilities were so strong, killing a person of the 6th level of Spirit Embryo Realm with one strike. Such a young prodigy couldn't be a nameless person in the entire central continent. Ling Yunkong's eyes flickered slightly. It was obvious that Lu Ming's cultivation had exceeded his expectations. Looks like I have to do it myself today, Ling Yunkong said. He was only slightly surprised, but Lu Ming wasn't enough for him to take seriously. This was because he could kill an ordinary person of the 6th level of Spirit Embryo Realm with a flick of his finger. Bang! Ling Yunkong took a step forward and the sky trembled violently. Heaven and earth shook. Ling Yunkong is going to do it, some people exclaimed, but more people's eyes glowed. It had been half a year since the Battle of Providence. During this time, the entire central continent was very peaceful, as if all the prodigies were in seclusion. It was completely different from before the Battle of Providence began. Before the Battle of Providence began, the prodigies battled each other and there were battles every day. However, after the Battle of Providence, it was completely silent. All the prodigies seemed to be digesting the things they had obtained from the Battle of Providence and were in seclusion to raise their cultivation. In this half a year, it was rare to see some of the top prodigies fight. Was Ling Yunkong going to do it now? Chapter 1005. That was because most people couldn't see the final showdown of the Battle of Providence. Only the top echelons of the overlords could see it. The combat power of these supreme talents was rumored. Only a few people could see it with their own eyes. Now, they finally had the chance. Boom, boom, boom. Lu Ming took one step at a time, stepping in the air. With every step he took, Ling Yunkong's aura would become stronger. In the end, his aura was as strong as an immemorial sacred mountain. A huge pressure pressed down on Lu Ming. Xiao Zhan and the Xiao sisters couldn't help but retreat. Their eyes were filled with horror. They felt like ants in front of Ling Yunkong. There was no way they could resist him. Brother Lu. The Xiao sisters looked at Lu Ming with worry. Ling Yunkong was so strong. Could Lu Ming fight him? However, Lu Ming's figure was as steady as a rock. He did not move at all. Even the corners of his clothes did not move. Ling Yunkong's eyes revealed a trace of surprise. A person who could remain unmoved under his aura wasn't simple. You're not bad. You're worthy of my attention. What's your name? Ling Yunkong's words surprised many people. Ling Yunkong actually said that Lu Ming was worth his time. That young man who stood there motionless was actually that powerful. Was he worthy of Ling Yunkong's attention? You're not qualified to know my name, Lu Ming said lightly. Lu Ming's voice wasn't loud, but it spread like a storm. Everyone's eyes widened. Lu Ming said that Ling Yunkong wasn't qualified to know his name. Crazy, too crazy, crazy to the point of no bounds. Who was Ling Yunkong? He was one of the top 10 supreme talents of the Shenkong Mountain. Although he was only ranked 10th, there were more than 10 million disciples in the Shenkong Mountain. There were countless geniuses and experts. To be able to stand out among the countless geniuses and be ranked 10th was enough to show how terrifying he was. But now, Lu Ming said that Ling Yunkong wasn't even qualified to know his name. He's too arrogant. This young man probably came from the mountains and hasn't seen the world. He doesn't know the immensity of heaven and earth. In my opinion, he's just a frog at the bottom of a well. He thinks that he has some ability and doesn't put the world's heroes in his eyes. Just watch, he'll be miserable later. I think I've heard of his name from the Xiao family. I think he's called Lu Shaoqing. Lu Shaoqing? I've never heard of him. Now that the Battle of Providence has just ended, all the powerful geniuses have become famous, yet I've never heard of this name. Could it be that he didn't participate in the Battle of Providence? You see, I was right. This person must be a country bumpkin who just walked out from some remote mountain There were discussions around the Xiaoling Xiaozhon, our Hui, and our Lei were trembling with fear. Lu Ming's words would infuriate Ling Yunkong even more. Ha ha. Ling Yunkong laughed and said coldly, arrogant, really arrogant. I, Ling Yunkong, have been called arrogant by others, but you're even more arrogant than me. However, you need to have the right to be arrogant. I'll make sure you can't be arrogant later. You're right. You need to have the right to be arrogant. Otherwise, you're courting death. Lu Ming smiled faintly. Obviously, Lu Ming was talking about Ling Yunkong. Then I'll show you what I've got. Boom. As soon as he finished his words, Ling Yun took a heavy step forward. With a wave of his palm, a ray of sparkling and translucent blue saber gleam slashed toward Lu Ming. The terrifying aura seemed to be able to split the entire world apart. Lu Ming smiled faintly. His long spear shook, and a dragon roared. A spear radiance burst out and collided with the sword light. Boom. The energy exploded, and the space shook. The spear radiance and the sword light both dissipated. Ling Yunkong didn't move, and neither did Lu Ming. He blocked it. That Lu Shaoqing actually blocked Ling Yunkong's attack. Unbelievable. How is that possible? He actually has such strong combat power? Some people exclaimed in disbelief. Peak of the 7th level of Spirit Embryo Realm, Lu Ming's gaze moved. He already knew that Ling Yunkong's cultivation had reached the peak of the 7th level of Spirit Embryo Realm. Half a year ago, he was already at the same level as Demon Lord Luo Tian in the Battle of Providence. However, Lu Ming felt that Ling Yunkong's combat power shouldn't be as strong as Luo Tian's. His talent should be slightly weaker than Luo Tian's. Not to mention that half a year had passed since the Battle of Providence, Ling Yunkong was only at the peak of the 7th level of Spirit Embryo Realm. From this point alone, he was weaker than Luo Tian. After all, Luo Tian was ranked 10th among all the human prodigies in Eastern Wilderness. Not bad. Since you can take one of my attacks, then take another. 100 Waves Saber Art. Ling Yunkong's aura became stronger, and the sword radiance broke through the air. The sound of stormy waves could be heard. Ling Yunkong's sword radiance was like a wave. Wave after wave, it slashed towards Lu Ming. Whoosh! Lu Ming's long spear shook, and the long spear condensed by his true essence rapidly expanded. It was like a pillar that supported the sky, and there were 5 colored lights lingering on it. Yes, 5 colors, 5 different intents. Just now, Lu Ming had swallowed the intents of water of Ling Kai and the others and had been refining them. Now, Lu Ming's intents of water had broken through and reached the lower tier of the 3rd level. Although it wasn't on par with the intents of earth, wind, fire, and thunder, it was still very powerful when the 5 intents exploded together. Boom! The huge long spear was very direct and domineering, crushing everything in its way. Boom! 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 Heaven and earth shook continuously. Ling Yunkong's sword radiance was constantly crushed and shattered. In the end, the long spear didn't stop and continued to smash towards Ling Yunkong. How can this be? Ling Yunkong's pupils contracted rapidly, and his eyes were filled with disbelief. How can Lu Ming be so strong? He broke his 100-wave saber art and still had the energy to smash towards him. All the spectators around also widened their eyes in disbelief. Lu Ming's spear was too amazing, and its power was unimaginable. It actually started to suppress Ling Yunkong, one of the top 10 prodigies of the Floating Mountain. Ling Yunkong roared, his long hair fluttering in the wind, and the saber in his hand constantly slashed out. In a short period of time, he had slashed out at least a few thousand times to block Lu Ming's long spear, but the result was that he was pushed back 1,000 meters, his chest heaving up and down. That's all you got? I thought you were more powerful. You're so arrogant with such little strength. It's a miracle that you're still alive. Lu Ming said indifferently. Ling Yunkong's face was red with anger. He was very arrogant just now, and even said that he had to be qualified to be arrogant. The fact proved that he wasn't qualified to be arrogant in front of Lu Ming. His words were like slapping his own face. This made him furious, and he couldn't wait to kill Lu Ming. Die! Ling Yunkong roared, and at the same time, a giant elephant appeared above his head. This giant elephant had 5 golden chakras around it. A level 5 divine realm bloodline was indeed weaker than Luo Tian's. However, it made sense. The floating mountain was only at the same level as the Emperor Heaven Divine Palace or the Heavenly Corpse sect. Ling Yunkong was only ranked 10th in the floating mountain. If the 10th was as strong as Luo Tian, wouldn't it mean that the floating mountain was as strong as the entire eastern wilderness? Chapter 1006. It's Ling Yunkong's bloodline. Is this the level 5 divine bloodline? The legendary divine beast, the water god elephant. It is as famous as the ancient war elephant. It can control all the water in the world. Exclamations came from all around. Ling Yunkong had used the bloodline fusion and turned into the water god elephant. The water god elephant was 1,000 meters tall and it towered into the clouds, blocking out the sun. It let out a long howl that shook the entire Lizhui city. Countless people looked at the gigantic creature in the sky in shock. Boom! The water god elephant stepped out towards Lu Ming. Hui, Lei, and Xiao Zhan were terrified. Such power was too shocking. It was as if it could destroy the world. However, Lu Ming's eyes were still as calm as water. The long spear in his hands enlarged again, becoming a few thousand meters long. It was indomitable, stirring up the wind and clouds. Boom! A huge spear radiance blasted towards the water god elephant. The clouds in the sky were shattered and starlight shone down. The water god elephant let out a long howl and its trunk rolled towards the spear radiance. An earth-shattering explosion was heard and the space shook. However, the final result was shocking. The 5-colored spear radiance destroyed the elephant's trunk and the body of the spear struck the water god elephant. The water god elephant let out a wail and its gigantic body was pushed back. It stepped on the void and the void rippled like water. Ling Yunkong is going to lose. Someone exclaimed. Everyone was shocked. Ling Yunkong had even used the bloodline fusion, but he was still no match for Chen Fan. Boom! Boom! Lu Ming's body was as small as an ant, but he wielded the 1,000-meter-long spear and attacked the water god elephant continuously. After a few explosions, the water god elephant let out a cry and exploded. It turned into Ling Yunkong. Ling Yunkong's face was as pale as a sheet of paper. Blood spurted out of his mouth. He did not dare to stay any longer. He turned into a ray of blade radiance and disappeared into the distance. Brat, just you wait. Ling Yunkong's voice came from afar. Lu Ming's eyes flashed a few times, but he did not chase after him. He had some misgivings, not because of himself, but because of the Xiao clan. Ling Yunkong was one of the 10 great geniuses of the Hanging Mountain after all. Killing him might infuriate the Hanging Mountain, and at that time, they would dispatch a few domain-enlightened spirit god realm experts. Ling Yunkong could simply leave, and the members of the Xiao clan would be in trouble. Therefore, Lu Ming did not give chase. At this time, the spectators looked at Lu Ming with eyes full of awe, shock, and curiosity. Lu Ming had actually defeated Ling Yunkong. This meant that he was an even stronger genius than Ling Yunkong. But why hadn't he heard of this name before? Did he really not participate in the Battle of Providence? Lu, big brother. Hui and the others were also dumbfounded. They never thought that Lu Ming would be this strong. Even Ling Yunkong was not his opponent. What kind of strength was this? Was this still the same young man who had been injured by the demonic beast? They recalled the time when they'd first met Lu Ming in the chaotic mountain range. At this moment, their beautiful eyes suddenly lit up. At that time, they'd met Lu Ming because of a grade 8 demonic beast's rage. At that time, they'd thought that Lu Ming had been implicated by the grade 8 demonic beast's rage and had been injured by some other small demonic beasts. But now that they thought about it, the grade 8 demonic beast's rage might have been because of Lu Ming. Lu Ming might have been injured by that grade 8 demonic beast and not some small demonic beast. Xiao Zhan was even more surprised. He'd cultivated for many years, so he knew very well how strong Ling Yunkong was. He'd been at the peak of the 5th level of the spirit embryo realm at his peak, but he'd definitely been instantly killed by Ling Yunkong. However, Ling Yunkong had been easily defeated by Lu Ming. "Let's go. We'll leave first." Lu Ming waved his hand, and the spear vanished. He smiled at Hui and the others. "Ah, yes, okay." The few of them seemed to have woken up from a dream, and the group of 4 headed out of Lishui City. Lu Ming naturally didn't care about defeating Ling Yunkong. To him, Ling Yunkong wasn't even a match for him. Ling Yunkong's cultivation was weaker than his, so he hadn't even used the power of his bloodline. He'd only used his cultivation and concept to defeat him. The fusion of 5 concepts is indeed much stronger than 4 concepts. It's a pity that the concept of water is still slightly weaker. If it was on par with the other concepts, the explosive power would definitely be even more terrifying, Lu Ming thought to himself. The 4 of them headed north of Lishui City. After leaving the city, the 4 of them changed their appearances and clothes. Hui and Lei's appearances had become much more ordinary and less eye-catching. Lu Ming had also turned into a youth around 30 years old. They kept heading north, crossing over the plain of 10,000 lakes. After flying for about 1,000,000 miles, they stopped at a small island in the middle of a lake. This small island in the middle of the lake was very peaceful and suitable for living in seclusion. Xiao Zhan, Hui, and Lei planned to stay here for the time being. The water vapor here was abundant, and Lu Ming also planned to cultivate here for a period of time. Next, the 4 of them settled down here. Every day, Lu Ming sat cross-legged on the surface of the lake, comprehending the concept of water. To him, he could not afford to waste even the slightest bit of time. The talisman puppet sect's yin and yang formation could only last for 5 years. But now, almost half a year had passed. Lu Ming felt that time was too tight. He had to seize every bit of time to cultivate and improve himself as soon as possible. Xiao Zhan would disguise himself and go out to gather information every day. In the blink of an eye, 10 days had passed. Lu Ming cultivated every day and made great progress in the concept of water. On this day, Xiao Zhan returned with a worried face. Seeing this, Hui and Lei hurriedly asked Xiao Zhan what had happened. At first, Xiao Zhan didn't say anything. Later, he had no choice but to tell the truth. It turned out that he had heard an important piece of news when he went out. Ling Yunkong had returned and seemed to have invited the Floating Sky Mountains experts over. Moreover, he had captured many Xiao family disciples who had left. At this time, Ling Yunkong had detained the Xiao family disciples and released the news that Lu Shaoqing, Xiao Zhan, and the others should return. Otherwise, he would kill all the Xiao family disciples. Despicable. This Ling Yunkong is actually so despicable. Hui gritted her teeth. No matter what, Ling Yunkong was still one of the Floating Sky Mountains' top 10 geniuses. Who would have thought that he would be so despicable and shameless? After being defeated by Lu Ming, he actually captured the Xiao family disciples to threaten them. Hui and Lei gritted their teeth. Xiao Zhan's face was full of worry, but Lu Ming's expression was calm. "You guys stay here. I'll go take a look," Lu Ming said. "No, little brother Lu, you've helped us too much. This old man will never be able to repay your kindness in this lifetime. I can't let you take any more risk." Xiao Zhan shook his head resolutely. "Yeah, big brother Lu, that Ling Yunkong must have found an expert stronger than him. If you go, won't you be in danger?" Hui also said. "It's fine, I'm just going to take a look. I won't show myself if I'm not confident." Lu Ming smiled. Hearing Lu Ming's words, they hesitated. "Don't worry, you guys wait here for my news." Chapter 1007. Lishui City. In front of the Xiao clan's residence, there were at least 50 Xiao clan disciples tied up and kneeling on the ground. Ling Yunkong was sitting on a chair with an indifferent expression. Beside him were some experts from the Floating Mountain sect. There were many spectators around the Xiao clan. Ling Yunkong's methods are too despicable. He actually used such methods to force Xiao Zhan and Lu Shaoqing to come out. It's indeed despicable, but not all of the Floating Mountain sect's geniuses are like this. Some of them are quite straightforward. I heard that the second-ranked genius of the Floating Mountain sect, Chu Kuang, is very straightforward and likes to make friends. I wonder if that's true. That's true. Speaking of which, Ling Yunkong was defeated by Lu Shaoqing last time, but he still dares to come back. Isn't he afraid of being defeated again? That's because he brought experts with him. Do you see that youth sitting cross-legged on the right side of Ling Yunkong? That's Hai Ziming. What? That's Hai Ziming, the 5th-ranked genius of the Floating Mountain sect? Countless people were discussing, but they kept their voices low for fear of being heard by Ling Yunkong. In the end, more people's gazes fell on the youth on the right side of Ling Yunkong. The youth was wearing a blue robe and had an ordinary appearance. He was the type that couldn't be picked out in a crowd. But after hearing his name, no one dared to look down on him. Because he was Hai Ziming. It was said that Hai Ziming was the fastest rising genius of the Floating Mountain sect. He was also the youngest, not even 25 years old. He rose like a comet in the Battle of Karmic Luck, shocking everyone. After the Battle of Karmic Luck, he was ranked 5th among the 10 geniuses of the Floating Mountain sect. He was much stronger than Ling Yunkong. Who would have thought that Ling Yunkong would invite Hai Ziming this time? Clearly, he was here to deal with Lu Shaoqing. Continue to spread the news. If Lu Shaoqing and Xiao Zhan don't appear, I'll kill a Xiao clan disciple every 2 hours. At this time, Ling Yunkong revealed an impatient expression and coldly ordered an old man beside him. Yes. The old man hurriedly nodded. Enough. At this moment, Hai Ziming opened his eyes. His eyes flashed as he spat out 2 words. The old man's expression immediately changed and he stood there motionlessly. Ling Yunkong frowned. Ling Yunkong, I came with you to meet Lu Shaoqing. What you did was too despicable. Hai Ziming said indifferently. Ling Yunkong frowned as his eyes flickered with displeasure, before he forced a smile and said, Junior brother Hai, that Lu Shaoqing and the old man from the Xiao clan are hiding. If we don't use this method, how could they show themselves? Forget about killing people, Yang Qi said. Also, once they arrive, let these people go. They're all people with weak cultivation bases. Killing them would be bad for the reputation of the Hanging Mountain sect. Hai Ziming said. All right, Junior brother Hai, I know what to do. Ling Yunkong's voice turned cold. Hai Ziming frowned. If it wasn't for the fact that Ling Yunkong had helped him before he rose to power, he would never have followed Ling Yunkong here to do such a thing. Ling Yunkong, I've already helped you twice. This is the last time. After this, we don't owe each other anything, Hai Ziming said indifferently. Ling Yunkong grunted coldly and didn't say anything. As soon as he finished speaking, Hai Ziming closed his eyes again. Lu Shaoqing is here. Right at this moment, someone exclaimed with surprise. What? Where? Over there. The gazes of the crowd shot towards the sky in unison. Ling Yunkong's spirits shook while his gaze flickered explosively. On the other hand, Hai Ziming opened his eyes as well, and 2 dazzling spear lights shot out from his eyes. A black-robed young man with his hands behind his back strode through the sky from the north. It was Lu Ming. When Lu Ming arrived at Lizhui City and found out that Ling Yunkong hadn't brought a domain enlightened spirit god and had only invited a young genius over, Lu Ming didn't conceal himself and directly made an appearance. Obviously, how could a domain enlightened spirit god possibly be invited by Ling Yunkong to do such a thing? That person would probably be ridiculed by the entire world. Lu Shaoqing. Ling Yunkong stared at Lu Ming and gnashed his teeth as he spoke word by word. What? I didn't teach you enough the last time, so you're looking for a beating this time? Lu Ming glanced at Ling Yunkong and spoke with disdain. This caused Ling Yunkong to gnash his teeth once more. Lu Shaoqing, where's that old fellow from the Xiao clan and those 2 little girls? Asked Ling Yunkong in a cold voice. You want to know? Why should I tell you? Lu Ming smiled faintly and said, the geniuses of Void Mountain always play such tricks. They used innocent people to draw me out. Now that I've come out, feel free to use any ability you have, alright? How could all of you have come out otherwise? Lu Shaoqing, aren't you very strong? Today, I'll let junior brother Hai Ziming experience your strength, said Ling Yunkong. Oh, so it's a different person? But I'm not interested in fighting now that it's a different person. I'm slightly interested if you fight him yourself. Lu Ming smiled. Ling Yunkong's expression grew even more unsightly. How could he dare to fight him himself? Lu Shaoqing, it's not up to you today. Ling Yunkong laughed coldly. Lu Shaoqing, fight with me. Hai Ziming stood up, his eyes bursting with a strong battle intent. You want to fight me? Sure. Why don't we have a bet? Said Lu Ming. How? Asked Hai Ziming. It's very simple. If I lose, I'll cripple my own cultivation and hand them over to you. I'll also hand over Senior Xiao Zhan, our Hui, and our Lei. But if you lose, you have to swear that you won't touch anyone from the Xiao clan no matter what. Said Lu Ming. Why should I agree? You have no choice now. The lives of these Xiao clan disciples are in my hands. You'd better listen to me obediently. Ling Yunkong sneered and refused directly. Is that so? Lu Ming's lips curled into a smile. Suddenly, Lu Ming took a step forward and used the Nine Dragons' Heaven Stomp, pouncing towards Lu Ming and Ling Yunkong. In the process of pouncing, Lu Ming erupted with 2 dragon energies. Purple scales immediately appeared on Lu Ming's body. Hide. Lu Ming's mind stirred and his muscles wriggled. That purple scale armor actually did not appear. Instead, it merely covered his skin. It made his body look like it was just filled with a layer of purple light. Lu Ming's physical body had now reached complete rank 8, which was extremely powerful. Lu Ming realized that when he erupted with dragon energies, he could control his physical body so that the scales would not appear on the surface of his skin, but hide under his skin. In this way, the vision would not be too obvious and would not be noticed by people with intentions. Of course, this was related to the strength of the physical body and the eruption of dragon energies. Chapter 1008. Lu Ming unleashed the power of 2 dragons and performed the 9 dragon sky-stomping steps at the same time. His body was like a ray of light. He was too fast. In an instant, he was in front of Ling Yunkong. Although Ling Yunkong was on guard, he was still shocked. He hastily made a move. However, his attack and defense were as fragile as tofu in front of Lu Ming's palm. Lu Ming's palm penetrated all defenses and grabbed Ling Yunkong's throat. The energy burst forth. Ling Yunkong's neck seemed to be broken. He let out a scream and the vital essence in his body almost dissipated. The surrounding people were all stunned. Lu Ming actually restrained Ling Yunkong in one move. It was unbelievable. After a long time, the crowd came to their senses. How dare you? Let go of young Master Yunkong. Do you know that you're courting death? Several old men shouted. They were all Ling Yunkong's trusted subordinates. Shut up. Believe it or not, I'll break his neck now. Lu Ming's eyes flashed with a fierce light. Killing intent burst out. The old men hurriedly shut up. Lu Shaoqing, I'm a genius of the floating mountain sect. If you kill me, the experts of the floating mountain sect won't let you go. Ling Yunkong roared. You've lost so miserably in a fight between peers. Do you really think that the seniors of the floating mountain sect will stand up for you? Aren't you afraid of being ridiculed by the world? Lu Ming sneered. His eyes were cold. Ling Yunkong shuddered, and there was a trace of fear in his eyes. Indeed, in a fight between peers, if he was defeated and killed, the seniors of the sect would take revenge. Didn't the other party have seniors? At that time, the other party's seniors would also take action to kill the young geniuses on their side. In that case, how could the young geniuses in the world have a chance to rise? Wouldn't they all die? Whether it was the Eastern Wilderness, the Central Continent, or other places, this was an unwritten rule. Under normal circumstances, the seniors couldn't take action when the younger generation fought. Of course, special circumstances were an exception. If I want to kill you, it'll be a piece of cake. Do you understand the difference between us now? Lu Ming sneered and continued, however, I won't kill you today. I can also agree to a battle with him. However, my condition is still the same as before. You can swear a blood oath that if you lose, you will never touch the Xiao clan in any way. If you lose, I will fulfill my condition. Lu Ming pointed at Hai Ziming. Today, Lu Ming was going to completely resolve this problem for the Xiao clan. Otherwise, if this continued, there would be no end to it. On one hand, he wanted to force Ling Yunkong to swear a blood oath. On the other hand, he wanted to display his strength to intimidate them. I promise you, if I lose, I won't touch the Xiao clan at all, and I won't let anyone touch the Xiao clan either. Hai Ziming was the first to speak. In the end, Ling Yunkong had no choice. His life was in Lu Ming's hands, so he could only agree and swear a blood oath. Once a cultivator made a blood oath, they could not go against it. Otherwise, in the future, they would be plagued by inner demons. Not only would it be difficult to improve their cultivation, they might even go berserk. After Ling Yunkong swore a blood oath, Lu Ming flung Ling Yunkong away. Damn it, I hope Hai Ziming can kill this Lu Shaoqing. Ling Yunkong's eyes flickered with cold killing intent. Lu Ming actually dared to treat him like this. This caused his killing intent to become incomparably thick. Moreover, he had lost all face today. His only hope now was that Hai Ziming could defeat Lu Ming. He still had a lot of confidence in Hai Ziming. He believed that the reason he was caught by Lu Ming was because Lu Ming caught him off guard. If he had been on full guard, Lu Ming wouldn't have been able to capture him so easily. He wasn't the only one who thought so. In fact, many people thought so. Because Lu Ming's sneak attack had succeeded just now. Moreover, Ling Yunkong was very clear about Hai Ziming's combat strength. Among all the prodigies of Floating Sky Mountain, Hai Ziming had caught up from behind. He rose up quickly and improved at an astonishing speed. He was considered a rising star. In the Battle of Destiny, Hai Ziming was ranked 5th among the 10 great prodigies of Floating Sky Mountain. However, after half a year, Ling Yunkong was clear that even the 4th-ranked prodigy of Floating Sky Mountain might not be a match for Hai Ziming. Therefore, he had confidence in Hai Ziming. Bang! Hai Ziming stepped out and stood opposite of Lu Ming. A powerful aura burst forth without any concealment. His eyes revealed an intense battle intent and excitement. Peak of the 8th level of Spirit Embryo Realm, Hai Ziming didn't conceal anything. Lu Ming could tell with a glance that Hai Ziming's cultivation had already reached the peak of the 8th level of Spirit Embryo Realm. Lu Shaoqing, let me have a taste of your strength. Hai Ziming's palm glowed and an ocean blue long spear appeared in his hand. Hai Ziming also used a spear. His long spear looked like it was forged from a blue gem. There would be water vapor emitting from it from time to time. Under the illumination of the sun, it gave off a colorful glow. Lu Ming's finger moved slightly and the infinite dragon spear appeared. Hai Ziming's eyes moved and he said, "Good spear. Yours isn't bad either." Lu Ming said. "Then let's fight." Hai Ziming stepped out again and waved his long spear. In the air, spear shadows filled the sky and stabbed towards Lu Ming. Radiance spread out and countless spear shadows seemed to cover all of Lu Ming's paths. Wang! Lu Ming's long spear trembled and similarly, spear shadows filled the sky and collided with Hai Ziming's spear shadows. Clang! 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 The concentrated collision sounds were like a torrential rain falling onto the ground, endless. The spear shadows that filled the sky completely drowned out Lu Ming and Hai Ziming. Outsiders could only see the spear shadows and couldn't see them. There were at least a few thousand sounds before the sounds stopped. The spear shadows that filled the sky disappeared and 2 figures appeared. Azure wave spear art. The long spear in Hai Ziming's hand spun and brandished. It was as if there were several large rivers revolving around the long spear. With a terrifying power, it charged towards Lu Ming. Spear concept. There is another concept that is also very terrifying. Lu Ming's heart skipped a beat. Hai Ziming's talent was astonishing. He had actually comprehended 2 powerful concepts and had merged them into one. His battle strength was very powerful. The infinite dragon spear glowed with 5-colored radiance. At the same time, the infinite dragon spear operated the suppressing hell heaven skill. Every spear strike had a terrifying power that could suppress everything. Boom! The 2 spears collided. In the end, the large river collapsed and Hai Ziming's long spear was sent flying. Hai Ziming's body retreated rapidly. He retreated 100 meters before stopping with a grave expression. On the other hand, Ling Yunkong's expression was extremely ugly. Lu Ming was actually so powerful. The combat ability that he displayed now had already surpassed the combat ability that he had displayed during the battle with him previously. Obviously, Lu Ming was still hiding his strength. Powerful. Take my strongest move. Hai Ziming's eyes glowed. A long spear appeared above her head. There was also a large river revolving around the spear and 6 golden chakras floating. Level 6 Divine Grade Bloodline. Hai Ziming used bloodline fusion and turned into a long spear. Boundless ocean. Hai Ziming's voice came out from the long spear. The long spear vibrated and spun in the air before thrusting out. Whoosh. Lu Ming seemed to see an ocean. The waves were shocking and had the power to destroy everything as they surged towards Lu Ming. Ocean Concept. Chapter 1009. The intent of the spear and the intent of the sea merged together. The spear momentum was like the sea, with raging waves crashing on the shore. The sea was boundless, destroying everything. Strong, too strong. Back off, back off. In all directions, the hearts of the spectators sped up in the face of this move. They were terrified, as if they would be crushed by the sea in the next moment. Countless people screamed and retreated in panic. Our Hui and our Lei, who were standing on the ground, also had the same feeling. This feeling made them feel like they would be bombarded into ashes in the next moment. However, in front of them, a stalwart figure erupted with a shocking aura, blocking everything for them. Roar. There was a faint dragon roar coming from his body. The 2 dragon forces burst out, causing Lu Ming's body to glow purple again. Boom. This time, Lu Ming put away the infinite dragon spear, stepped forward, and struck out with his palm. This palm was very ordinary, but it seemed to have the power to suppress the heavens and split everything. With a loud boom, everyone was shocked to see that the sea seemed to have been split into 2 by Lu Ming's palm. The endless sea swept and then collapsed. Bang! In the middle of the sea, a blue spear also collapsed. In the next moment, the sea disappeared, and so did the spear. The sky above Lizhui City regained its tranquility. There was only a figure retreating rapidly, spilling a trace of blood in the air. Countless people looked at this scene in horror. Because the person who retreated was Hai Ziming. Hai Ziming was defeated and retreated while vomiting blood. God, even Hai Ziming was defeated. Lu Shaoqing's combat strength is too amazing. In the entire central continent, Hai Ziming is almost ranked as a third-class genius, but he was still defeated. Could Lu Shaoqing be a third-class genius? It's very likely. Lu Shaoqing is actually ranked as a third-class genius. How terrifying. There was an uproar all around. Countless people looked at Lu Ming in shock. Impossible, how is this possible? Ling Yunkong roared, his eyes wide in disbelief. Lu Ming had defeated Hai Ziming. How could he be so strong? One had to know that there were not many people who could defeat Hai Ziming in the vast central continent. After all, in the vast middle continent, there were only 18 overlords. Even if some of the weaker forces had their own peerless geniuses, how many could there be? Ling Yunkong was furious, but the Xiao clan members were ecstatic. They were saved. Ling Yunkong swore a blood oath that as long as Hai Ziming lost, he would not touch the Xiao family in any way. I lost. Hai Ziming stood in the air, his eyes filled with astonishment. Thanks for letting me win. Lu Ming cupped his hands. Lu Ming estimated that Hai Ziming's talent was not inferior to Eastern Wasteland King Fen Tian, Dongfang Yu and the others. Lu Shaoqing, with your talent and combat strength, it's a pity that you didn't participate in the Battle of Providence. However, the Battle of Providence is only one of the stations for our rise. Even if you didn't participate, I believe that with your talent, you can also rise. Hai Ziming cupped his fists and revealed a look of admiration. He was very carefree and magnanimous, completely different from Ling Yunkong. You're welcome. Lu Ming smiled slightly. He nodded in his heart. This was normal. It was impossible for everyone to be like Ling Yunkong. Otherwise, the floating mountain sect would not be far from destruction. The battle has ended. Ling Yunkong, From now on, you and I don't owe each other anything. At this moment, Hai Ziming looked at Ling Yunkong and said. Lu Ming's heart skipped a beat. It seemed that Hai Ziming owed Ling Yunkong a favor, which was why he helped him. After saying that, Hai Ziming's figure moved, turned into a rainbow light, and disappeared in the air. What? You're still not leaving? Lu Ming looked at Ling Yunkong. Ling Yunkong waved his sleeves. He wanted to make trouble, but unfortunately, he had already made a blood oath, so he could only grit his teeth and leave. He could not even order others to deal with the Xiao family in the future. In an instant, no one from the floating mountain sect was left. Lu Ming came to the front of the Xiao family. With a wave of his hand, his true origin gushed out. The true origin that sealed their cultivation was broken by Lu Ming one by one, and they regained their freedom. Thank you, young Master Lu. Thank you, young Master Lu, for saving our lives. Everyone from the Xiao family thanked Lu Ming profusely. This time, if it wasn't for Lu Ming, they would most likely be dead. Everyone, there's no need to be so polite. From now on, Ling Yunkong won't make things difficult for the Xiao family. You can call the rest of the Xiao family back. I'll go get Senior Xiao and the others, Lu Ming said. The Xiao family nodded and moved in groups. Lu Ming stepped into the air and flew towards the small island from before. Following Lu Ming's departure, the onlookers also dispersed. However, Lu Shaoqing's name had spread throughout Lizhui City and was spreading in all directions at an alarming speed. He believed that it would not be long before it spread throughout the territory controlled by the floating mountain. Many people were curious about Lu Shaoqing. Who was he that suddenly appeared after the Battle of Providence? When Xiao Zhan, Ah Hui, and Ah Lei heard the specific news, they were overjoyed and were even more grateful to Lu Ming. Lu Ming had completely resolved this matter. They would not have to flee in the future. Everyone returned to the Xiao family. Xiao Zhan arranged for the Xiao family to begin rebuilding the Xiao residence. Because the Xiao family was affected by the battle, many buildings were destroyed. As for Lu Ming, he continued to cultivate. In the blink of an eye, another 10 days passed. His water concept was slowly approaching the 3rd level of greater mastery. He was getting closer and closer to the other concepts. On this day, a piece of news spread rapidly in Lizhui City. In the west of Lizhui City, there was a black lake. There was actually a purifying lotus throne growing in the black lake. Now, the purifying lotus throne was about to mature. It's actually a purifying lotus throne? Let's go, we can't miss it. Let's go. As soon as the news spread, countless people moved towards the west of Lizhui City. However, there were also many people who were smarter and did not go. How precious is the purifying lotus throne? It's extremely useful for cultivating water concept or water attribute cultivation methods. It can even allow one to break through bottlenecks. It will definitely attract many experts. Even old monsters who have been in seclusion for many years will appear. That's right. Although the purifying lotus throne is not very useful for 4th level concepts, it's quite helpful for 3rd level concepts. Especially for 4th level concepts. When the time comes, there will be many experts. If we go, we'll just be sending ourselves to death. These people sneered and did not move. They waited in Lizhui City for news. The purifying lotus throne. Lu Ming's eyes lit up when he heard the news. He must obtain the purifying lotus throne. As long as he obtained the purifying lotus throne, his water concept would make great progress in a short period of time. It might even surpass the other 4 concepts. In that case, his cultivation would begin to improve again. It had been more than half a year, but his cultivation had not improved. Now that the other prodigies who participated in the Battle of Providence were cultivating in seclusion and digesting their gains, their cultivation would definitely improve rapidly. Lu Ming speculated that the cultivation of Di Shen, Shui Jiani, AO2, and the others would definitely surpass his. You're tuning in to the Celestial War YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.